All right, Dynasty now. Now thinking a little bit more down the line, although it's still all about value. So start us off with who you're targeting at quarterback for the NFC and Dynasty, Sean.
So for the NFC, I do like Justin Fields. He was the fourth quarterback drafted in a loaded class, so he might be a little bit overlooked right now. But he has that rushing upside that you need to, hit QB1 value. It might not be out of the gate, but he does possess that upside. I could see him down the road, maybe turning into like a Dak Prescott level quarterback. He's attached to Allen Robinson for this year. Darnell Mooney, I love as, a vertical threat. So I think he has some weapons there. And I think down the road, I think he's going to surprise some people. Considering he was the fourth quarterback, it was a loaded class though. So I think he deserves, a target in NFC Dynasty.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Fields, Lance, those are kind of the new sexy picks, the rookies. But I'm going for a guy, Jalen Hurts. You may get the value now and down the line. And he could be potentially a top 5 dynasty quarterback at this time next year. Looking at like the career trajectory of guys like Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, guys like that. So I love nabbing Hurts when his consensus rank in dynasty is still outside the top 12 in many dynasty leagues. So Jalen Hurts for me at QB. What about running back?
So, Cam Akers' stock is way up, but I think it could go even higher. We saw him really break out the end of last year. He's more than capable of being a workhorse back. Like he can do it all. He can handle 20 plus touches. So he really will, I think, become that Todd Gurley role that we saw in 2017, 2018, where, due to knee injuries, he kind of fell apart. But I think Cam Akers has that locked down for the next few seasons in a Sean McVay offense. Sign me up for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Love Cam. I'm going with maybe an unconventional dynasty target, but I like Zeke at he's going outside the top 12 running backs now. And he's like a lot of these other dynasty guys are kind of projections into, they'll be in a featured role at some point, but Zeke's in a featured role right now. His cost is lower than ever. Dak Prescott's coming back and this is his age 26 season. So he should still have a good, 4 or 5 years left of feature back role potentially. And again, I think he bottomed out last year. I'm buying him in dynasty wherever I can. What about wide receiver?
For wide receiver, I love Darnell Mooney. I think his rookie season was robbed by, just terrible QB play. He was targeted the 10th most down the field. So he had 24 times he was targeted 20 plus yards through the air. And 18 of those were uncatchable. That was the second worst rate against qualified receivers. So I think just improve quarterback play, which I already said I like Justin Fields, or Andy Dalton. One of those two, it can't get any worse than last year. I think it's going to improve Mooney's outlook as he catches a few of those deep balls this year.
Yeah, and I see now you got the stack going with Justin Fields and Mooney. I like that. I'm going with a stack as well. I like Devonta Smith at wide receiver 26 in Dynasty. Again, you kind of look at where he's going now, and he should be the number 1 wide receiver. He's already, I think, the best route runner on the team. And so this could be his value in year 1, our wide receiver 26, if he's a number 1 receiver. And so I think that'll only go up. I think you may not be able to get him anywhere outside the top 20 going forward. So love Devonta Smith because I'm also high on Jalen Hurts. Let's close it up with who is your dynasty tight end target in the NFC?
My dynasty tight end target is Adam Troutman. I think he's ready to step up after Jared Cook's departure. He was a 3rd round talent last year. He caught 15 of his 16 targets. Now, we can't bank on a 95% catch rate, but it just goes to show that he's probably reliable enough to be, their number 3 or number 4 target heading into the season. So I think that the needle's pointing up with him. And again, he's a guy you want to invest before he has that breakout season.
Yeah, and there are very few guys at tight end that I think you can kind of count on to pay off that stash. And Troutman's one of those guys, should be in a featured role, talented, young. And for me, without Troutman on the board, since you stole him, I'm going Tyler Higbee, tight end 17. So the guy you like for best ball, I actually think he's great in Dynasty. You can usually get him outside the top 12. And he's still, a guy that I think with the departure of Gerald Everett, he's a guy that's shown that upside. Again, I just don't think there's many tight ends that kind of come out of the blue. It's like, if we haven't seen it from you and you're not like in year 1 or year 2 and like, a high drafted guy, I think you have to look at some of these more veteran guys who may have long careers. I think Higbee is definitely one of them, and he could always put up those top 5 numbers again, with Everett not there. So, Sean, to recap, who do you like as your dynasty targets in the NFC for 2021?
So my dynasty targets to target out of the NFC are Justin Fields at quarterback, Cam Akers at running back, Darnell Mooney at wide receiver, and Adam Troutman at tight end.
I'm going Jalen Hurts at quarterback, Zeke at running back, Devontae Smith at wide receiver, and Tyler Higbee at tight end. There you have it, folks. Be sure to listen to our NFC projections, Fantasy Flex Pod, and download the Action Network app. Let's get this money.